Maya Kim sat in the back of her old van, reading a car repair manual by the light of a small camping lantern. The parking lot was quiet at this hour. Most people had gone home to their warm beds. But this parking lot near the community college was Maya's home now. It had been for almost 2 years. She was 19 years old and living in a van that barely ran anymore. The engine had died months ago, so the van just sat in the same spot day after day. Maya kept it as clean as she could. She had a sleeping bag, some clothes in a plastic box, and her father's old toolbox. That toolbox was the most valuable thing she owned. Her father had taught her everything about fixing cars. He was a mechanic who came from Korea with big dreams. He opened a small garage in Los Angeles and worked hard every single day. Maya grew up in that garage. While other kids played with dolls, she learned about engines and brakes and transmissions. Her father would smile and say she had magic hands, but then her father got sick, very sick. The hospital bills piled up like mountains. Maya's mother tried to pay them, but there was never enough money. When her father died, they lost everything. The garage, their house, all of it gone. Maya had been in her second year of college studying engineering. She had to drop out to help her mother, but even that was not enough. Her mother moved in with relatives in another state. There was no room for Maya, so Maya ended up here, in this van in this parking lot. She worked at a diner washing dishes for cash. She did small repair jobs when people needed help. Sometimes she stood at intersections with a sign that said, "We'll fix your car for food." Some people laughed at her. Some people gave her a few dollars. A few people actually let her look at their cars. Maya never charged much. She knew what it felt like to have no money. When people could not pay, she fixed their cars anyway. Her father always said that helping others was the best thing a person could do. Maya tried to live by that even when she had nothing. Tonight was cool for Los Angeles. Maya wrapped a blanket around her shoulders and kept reading her manual. She was learning about newer car models, the ones with computers and sensors. Everything was changing so fast in the car world. She wanted to keep up even if she could not afford school anymore. Around 9 o'clock, Maya heard a car engine making a bad sound. She looked up from her book. Through the van's dirty window, she could see a car pulled over on the side of the road about 50 feet away. Smoke was coming from under the hood. That was never a good sign. Maya watched as a man got out of the car. He was tall and wore a baseball cap and sunglasses, even though it was dark. He opened the hood and jumped back as more smoke poured out. He pulled out his phone and started making calls. Maya could see him getting frustrated. He kept looking around like he was waiting for someone. She knew she should probably mind her own business. But Maya could never walk past someone with car trouble. It was like her father's voice in her head, telling her to help. She grabbed a flashlight from her toolbox and climbed out of the van. Her clothes were old and worn. Her jeans had oil stains that never came out. Her jacket had a tear in the sleeve. She knew she looked like what she was, a homeless person, but she walked over anyway. "Excuse me," Maya said quietly. "I know about cars. Can I look?" The man turned around. Even with the sunglasses and cap, there was something familiar about him. But Maya could not place it. He looked at her for a moment, probably noticing her worn clothes and dirty hands. "You know about cars?" he asked. His voice was deep and kind. "My father was a mechanic. He taught me everything," Maya said. She pointed at the smoke. "That looks like a coolant problem. Maybe a broken hose." The man seemed surprised. "The tow truck said they cannot get here for 2 hours. I have an important meeting." "Let me look," Maya said. "I do not have my tools, but maybe I can help." The man stepped aside. Maya leaned over the engine, shining her flashlight into the smoking mess. She was right. A coolant hose had split open. The engine had overheated badly. Green fluid was everywhere. "Your coolant hose broke," Maya said. "The engine is too hot right now. We need to let it cool down. Then I can do a temporary fix to get you to a real garage." "You can fix it?" the man asked. "Here, now?" "I can do a temporary fix," Maya said. "It will not be perfect, but it will get you where you need to go." "Do you have water in your car? Like bottles?" The man opened his back door and pulled out 3 bottles of water. Maya nodded and ran back to her van. She dug through her supplies and found duct tape, a piece of old rubber hose, and a knife. It was not much, but it would work. She came back and waited for the engine to cool down. The man watched her carefully. He seemed curious about this young woman who appeared out of nowhere to help him. "What's your name?" He asked. Maya, she said. Maya Kim. Thank you for stopping, Maya. Most people would just walk by. Maya shrugged. People helped me when I had nothing. I tried to pass it on. After 20 minutes, Maya got to work. She cut away the broken part of the hose. She used her spare piece of hose to bridge the gap and wrapped everything tight with duct tape. Then she carefully poured water into the coolant reservoir to replace what had leaked out. Start it up, she said, stepping back. The man got in and turned the key. The engine coughed once, then started running smoothly. No smoke, no strange sounds. He got out with a huge smile on his face. You actually fixed it. That's amazing. Maya wiped her hands on her jeans. It is only temporary. You need to get to a garage tonight and have them replace that hose properly. Do not drive too far or too fast. And watch the temperature gauge. If it starts to go up, pull over right away. How much do I owe you? The man asked, reaching for his wallet. Maya shook her head. Nothing. I am just glad I could help. Nothing. You just saved me hours of waiting. Please let me give you something. Really, it is okay, Maya said. Just go to a garage and get it fixed right. There is a 24-hour place about 2 miles down this road. Turn left at the big intersection. They are honest and their prices are fair. The man stared at her like she was speaking a foreign language. You won't take any money? People helped me when I had nothing, Maya said again. Just pass it on. Help someone else when you can. She turned to walk back to her van. The man called after her, Wait, at least tell me your last name or where I can find you if I need to thank you properly. Maya looked back and smiled. You already thanked me. Have a safe night. She walked back to her van, climbed inside, and closed the door. Through the window, she watched the man stand by his car for a long moment. He seemed to be thinking hard about something. Finally, he got in his car and drove away slowly, following her directions. Maya picked up her repair manual again. She did not think much about what had just happened. It was just another car she had fixed. Just another person she had helped. She had no idea that her simple act of kindness had just changed her entire life. Outside, the night was quiet again. The parking lot was empty except for her broken van. Maya read for another hour before her eyes got too tired. She put away the book, turned off her lantern, and crawled into her sleeping bag. Tomorrow she would go to the diner and wash dishes. Tomorrow she would look for more small jobs. Tomorrow would be like every other day, hard and uncertain. Or so she thought. Maya had no way of knowing that the man in the black car was already making plans to find her again. She had no idea that in 2 days her whole world would turn upside down. She closed her eyes and thought about her father. She hoped he would be proud that she still helped people, even when she had so little herself. That thought made her smile as she drifted off to sleep in the back of her van, under the street lights of Los Angeles. 2 days passed like any other days. Maya woke up in her van, washed her face with water from a jug, and went to work at the diner. She scrubbed dishes until her hands were red and sore. The owner paid her in cash at the end of each day. It was not much, but it was enough to buy food and keep going. After work, Maya went to the park like she did every Tuesday and Thursday. It was a small park with old trees and wooden benches. She had put up a sign on one of the trees that said free car advice. People who could not afford mechanics came to ask her questions. She would listen to their problems and tell them what was wrong with their cars. Sometimes she could fix small things right there in the parking lot. Today, an old woman named Mrs. Chen came with her grandson. Mrs. Chen's car had a dashboard full of warning lights. She was scared and confused. The lights looked scary, all red and orange and yellow. Maya sat with her and looked at the owner's manual for Mrs. Chen's car. She explained each light in simple words. The tire pressure was low. The oil change was due. One light was just saying the gas cap was loose. Nothing was seriously wrong. Mrs. Chen almost cried with relief. Everyone wants to charge me hundreds of dollars just to look. Thank you, Maya, thank you. Check your tire pressure at a gas station, Maya said. It is free. Tighten your gas cap. And get an oil change soon, but shop around for prices. You should not pay more than $40. Mrs. Chen's grandson gave Maya $5. She did not want to take it, but the boy insisted. For lunch, he said. Maya thanked him and put the money in her pocket. She was explaining something to another person when a woman in nice clothes walked up. She wore a business suit and carried a tablet. She looked very official and very out of place in this park. Are you Maya Kim? The woman asked. Maya stood up slowly. She was always nervous around official-looking people. Yes, is something wrong? Nothing's wrong, the woman said with a smile. My name is Sarah Chen. I work in film production. Someone wants to thank you for helping them with their car a few nights ago. Maya was confused. Thank me? Who? If you have a few minutes, he's waiting in the parking lot, Sarah said. Maya looked at the people still waiting to ask her questions. I am helping people right now. This won't take long, Sarah said. I promise it's worth your time. Something in the woman's kind voice made Maya agree. She told the people waiting that she would be right back. Then she followed Sarah across the park to the parking lot. There, parked under a tree, was the black car. The same one from 2 nights ago. Maya recognized it immediately. The man was leaning against it wearing the same baseball cap but no sunglasses this time. When Maya got closer, she stopped walking. Her mouth fell open. She knew that face. Everyone in America knew that face. It was Vin Diesel, the movie star, the action hero, the man from all those Fast and Furious movies. He was standing right there, in this park, next to his car. Hi, Maya, Vin said with a warm smile. I've been looking for you. Maya could not speak. Her brain had stopped working. This could not be real. This had to be some kind of joke. I wanted to thank you properly for fixing my car, Vin continued. You really saved me that night. I had an important meeting, and you got me there on time. Maya finally found her voice. You're Vin Diesel. He laughed. Yeah, that's me. And you're the miracle worker who fixed my car with duct tape and a piece of old hose. I did not know it was you, Maya said. She felt stupid saying it, but it was true. It was dark and you had sunglasses on. I know, I was trying to keep a low profile, Vin said. But after you helped me, I couldn't stop thinking about you, about what you did. Sarah, the woman who brought Maya here, handed Vin her tablet. He looked at it and then at Maya. It took me 2 days to find you, Vin said. I called homeless shelters, outreach programs, mechanics all over this area. Finally, someone told me about the girl who fixes cars for free in the park. That had to be you. Maya felt strange. Why would a famous person spend 2 days looking for her? Can we talk? Vin asked. Really talk? Maya nodded. They sat on a bench near the car. Sarah stayed back, giving them privacy. Vin turned to face Maya directly. Tell me your story, he said. How does someone who can fix cars end up living in a van? Maya did not want to talk about it. She felt embarrassed. But something about Vin's eyes made her feel safe. He looked at her like she was a real person, not a homeless person. So she told him everything. She told him about her father, the mechanic from Korea who taught her everything. About her mother and the hospital bills. About losing their house and her father's garage. About dropping out of college. About ending up in that van in the parking lot. Vin listened to every word. He did not interrupt. He did not look at his phone. He just listened like her story was the most important thing in the world. My father always said helping others was the most important thing, Maya finished. Even when I have nothing, I can still help people. It is all I have left of him. Vin was quiet for a moment. Then he said something Maya did not expect. I slept in my car once, he said, before I made it in Hollywood. I know what it's like to have nothing, to wonder where your next meal is coming from, to be invisible to everyone around you. Maya looked at him with surprise. Really? Really? Vin said. People see me now and they think I've always had it easy. But I struggled. I failed. I got rejected 1,000 times. Someone helped me when I needed it most. That's the only reason I'm here today. He reached into his jacket and pulled out an envelope. He held it out to Maya. I want to help you, Vin said. Not as charity, as payment for services. You fixed my car. You should be paid for that work. Maya shook her head. I told you I do not want money for that. I know what you said, Vin replied. But I'm not asking. I'm a customer paying for good work. Take it, Maya. Maya slowly took the envelope. It felt thick. Too thick. I also want to offer you something else, Vin said. Something bigger than money. Maya looked up at him. Her heart was beating fast. I'm filming a movie right now. We need someone who really knows cars, not Hollywood cars, but real street mechanics. Someone who can make the car scenes look authentic, Vin explained. I want to hire you as a consultant. Maya thought she had heard wrong. A consultant for a movie? Yes. You'd work with our automotive team. You'd help us make sure everything looks real. The pay is good, very good, and it's a legitimate job. Maya's hands started shaking. This could not be happening. Things like this did not happen to people like her. Why? She asked. Why me? Vin smiled. Because you fixed my car and wouldn't take any money. Because you help people for free when you have nothing. Because you have real skills and real heart. That's rare, Maya. That's special. But I do not know anything about movies, Maya said. You don't need to. You just need to know about cars. We'll teach you the rest, Vin said. Sarah here will give you all the details. The job starts in 3 days. We'll also arrange temporary housing for you. Nothing fancy, just a trailer on the lot with the crew. But it's clean and safe, and it's yours for as long as you're working with us. Maya felt tears coming to her eyes. She tried to hold them back, but they came anyway. I do not understand. Why are you doing this? Vin put a hand on her shoulder. Because someone did it for me once. And because you showed me something that night. You showed me that real kindness still exists. You had every reason to walk past my car and mind your own business, but you stopped. You helped. You refused payment. That's who you are. He stood up. Go home, Maya. Open that envelope. Think about my offer. Sarah will call you tomorrow with all the details. If you say yes, your life is about to change. Maya stood up too, holding the envelope tight. What if I am not good enough? What if I mess up? You won't, Vin said with confidence. You've been fixing cars since you were a kid. You fixed mine with duct tape in the dark. You teach people in a park for free. You're better than you think, Maya. Trust me. He walked to his car and opened the door. Then he turned back one more time. Oh, and Maya, that envelope isn't a loan. It's not charity. It's payment for the work you did and a signing bonus for the consulting job. You earned it. Don't feel bad about taking it. Vin got in his car and drove away. Sarah came over and gave Maya her business card. I'll call you tomorrow morning, Sarah said. We're excited to have you on the team, Maya. Vin doesn't do this for just anyone. He really believes in you. Sarah walked to her own car and left. Maya stood alone in the parking lot holding an envelope and a business card. Her hands were still shaking. She walked slowly back to her van. People were still waiting in the park, but she could not focus. She climbed into the back of her van and sat down hard. Was that real? Did that really just happen? With trembling fingers, Maya opened the envelope. Inside was cash. A lot of cash. She counted it twice, then 3 times. $5,000. And a note in handwriting that said, for temporary fixes until permanent solutions arrive. Maya held the money and started crying. Really crying. 2 years of holding everything inside came pouring out. She cried for her father. She cried for everything she had lost. But mostly she cried because for the first time in 2 years she had hope. Maybe, just maybe, things were about to get better. Maya did not sleep that night. She lay in her sleeping bag in the back of the van, staring at the ceiling. Every few minutes, she would look at the money again just to make sure it was real. $5,000. More money than she had seen in 2 years. But it was not really about the money. It was about what Vin Diesel had said. He believed in her. A famous person, someone who could have anyone work for him, wanted her help. Maya kept thinking there must be some mistake. That tomorrow Sarah would call and say it was all a joke. But the next morning, right at 9 o'clock, her phone rang. The cheap phone she had bought at a discount store. The one she barely used because minutes cost money. It was Sarah. Good morning, Maya, Sarah said cheerfully. Did you think about Vin's offer? Yes, Maya said quietly. But I still do not understand why you want me. Because you're good at what you do. And because Vin trusts you, Sarah replied. Can you come to the studio today? We'd like to show you around and explain everything. Maya looked down at her clothes. They were dirty. She had not had a real shower in 3 days. I am not. I do not look. Maya, Sarah said gently. This is a movie set. People show up in all kinds of clothes. Nobody will judge you. Just come as you are. Can you be here at 11? Sarah gave her an address, a studio in Los Angeles that Maya had seen on TV before. It seemed impossible that she would actually go inside. Maya used some of the money Vin had given her to take a bus across town. She could have taken several buses, but she was used to saving money. Old habits were hard to break. She got off at the studio gate and told the security guard her name. The guard checked his list and smiled. Yes, Miss Kim. Sarah Chen is expecting you. Go straight ahead to Building C. She'll meet you there. They were expecting her. Her name was on a list. Maya walked through the gate feeling like she was in a dream. The studio lot was huge. There were massive buildings everywhere. People rushed around carrying equipment, costumes, props. Golf carts drove past. Maya saw someone dressed like an alien walking casually down the street eating a sandwich. Building C was enormous. Sarah was waiting outside wearing another nice suit. Maya, welcome. Ready to see where movie magic happens? Maya nodded, too nervous to speak much. Sarah led her inside and down a long hallway. They passed rooms full of costumes, rooms full of weapons, rooms full of computers. Finally, they reached a large garage area filled with cars. Not just any cars. Beautiful cars. Sports cars, muscle cars, vintage cars. Some were shiny and perfect. Others were damaged and dirty, probably for crash scenes. There were at least 30 cars in this one garage. This is our automotive department, Sarah explained. Every car you see here is for the movie. Some we own, some we rent, some we build specially. This is where you'd be working. A man walked over. He was in his 50s, Korean like Maya, with grease on his hands and a friendly smile. You must be Maya Kim. I'm James Park. I run the automotive team for this production. They shook hands. James had a strong grip, the grip of someone who worked with his hands. Sarah told me about you, James said. Your father was Dae Kim, wasn't he? Had a garage in Koreatown? Maya was shocked. You knew my father? Knew of him, James said. His reputation was solid. People said he could fix anything and he never overcharged. I heard about his death. I'm sorry. Maya felt tears trying to come, but she pushed them back. Thank you. Your father would be proud of you, James said. Vin told me what you did, fixing his car with nothing but duct tape and spare parts. That's old school mechanic thinking. That's the kind of knowledge we need on this set. Sarah pulled out her tablet. Let me explain the job. We're filming a big action movie with lots of car chases and stunts. We need someone who can make sure the mechanical parts of scenes look real. When an actor works on a car in a scene, we need it to look authentic, not fake. We also need someone who understands street mechanics, James added. Not just shop mechanics, but the kind of stuff people do when they have no money and no tools. That's you, Maya. The job pays $3,000 per week, Sarah said. The production runs for about 4 months, maybe longer. That's if you stay the whole time. Maya did the math in her head. $3,000 per week. Times 4 weeks. Times 4 months. That was almost $50,000. More money than her father had made in a whole year at his garage. That cannot be right, Maya said. That is too much money, James laughed. That's actually standard for a consultant on a production this size. You're not being overpaid. You're being paid what the job is worth. Sarah showed Maya pictures of a small trailer. This would be your housing. It's on the lot with other crew members. It has a bed, bathroom, small kitchen. Nothing fancy, but it's yours. Free as part of the job. Maya looked at the pictures. The trailer was small and simple, but it looked like a palace compared to her van. A real bed, a real bathroom, a real kitchen. What would I have to do? Maya asked. I do not know anything about movies. We'll teach you, James said. Come on, let me show you. He led Maya deeper into the garage to where several cars were set up. See that car? Tomorrow we're filming a scene where the hero has to fix it fast because bad guys are coming. The script says he fixes the alternator. Can you show an actor how to really do that? Yes, Maya said. That is easy. That's the job, James said. You teach actors what to do. You tell the director if something looks wrong. You help us set up cars so they break in specific ways for scenes, and you use your knowledge to make everything look real. He pointed to another car. We need this car to break down in the middle of a chase. But we have to film that breakdown 20 times from different angles. So we need a way to make it break that we can fix quickly and do over and over. Think you could figure that out? Maya walked over to the car and looked under the hood. Her mind started working. After a minute, she said, "You could use a relay switch hidden in the car. Control it with a remote. Make it cut power to the fuel pump or ignition. The car would die, but you could turn it back on instantly. No real damage." James and Sarah looked at each other and smiled. "See?" James said. "That's exactly what we need. That kind of thinking." Vin Diesel appeared in the doorway. Is she saying yes yet? Maya turned around. She still could not believe this was real. Vin walked over in jeans and a t-shirt, looking like a normal person, except he was literally Vin Diesel. "What do you think, Maya?" Vin asked. "Will you join our team?" Maya wanted to say yes so badly, but fear held her back. What if I'm not good enough? What if everyone thinks I do not belong here? Then you prove them wrong, Vin said simply. That's what I had to do. That's what everyone has to do when they get a big chance. You don't have to be perfect, Maya. You just have to try hard and be yourself. He put a hand on her shoulder. I'll tell you something. 3 months ago, I didn't know you existed. Now I can't imagine doing these car scenes without you. You have something special. You have knowledge and skill and heart. That's rare. So stop doubting yourself. Maya looked at James, at Sarah, at Vin. They were all waiting for her answer. 3 people who barely knew her but who believed in her anyway. Okay, Maya said quietly. I will try. Yes, Sarah said, typing on her tablet. Okay, we'll get you set up today. James, can you show Maya around more? Vin, we need you in hair and makeup in 20 minutes. Vin smiled at Maya. Welcome to the team. You're going to do great. He left. Sarah handed Maya a stack of papers. Employment forms. Fill these out and bring them back tomorrow. James will show you your trailer and get you settled in. Tomorrow you start work for real. Sarah walked away talking on her phone. James gestured for Maya to follow him. They walked across the lot to a section where rows of trailers sat. This is crew housing, James explained. Camera people, sound people, various crew members. And now you. He stopped at a white trailer with the number 47 on the door. This one's yours. He handed her a key. Go ahead, look inside. Maya unlocked the door with shaking hands. Inside was a small space, but it was clean and bright. There was a bed with actual sheets and blankets. A tiny bathroom with a shower. A small counter with a microwave and mini fridge. A table and chair, a closet. Even a small TV. Maya turned in a circle, taking it all in. This is really mine? For as long as you work here, James said. Probably at least 4 months. Maybe longer if the production goes over schedule. Maya sat down on the bed. It was soft. She pressed her hand into the mattress. A real bed. She could not remember the last time she had slept on a real bed. Maya, James said gently. You okay? She looked up at him with tears in her eyes. 2 days ago I was sleeping in a broken van. Now I have a job. And a home. How is this real? James sat in the chair. Let me tell you something. I came to America from Korea when I was 17. I had $50 in one suitcase. I worked in car washes, fast food, anything I could find. Someone gave me a chance to work in film 30 years ago. One chance. Look at me now. I run the automotive department for major movies. He leaned forward. That's how it works sometimes, Maya. All you need is one chance. One person to believe in you. Vin is giving you that chance. Now you have to take it and run with it. I will work so hard, Maya promised. I will not let anyone down. I know you will, James said. Now let me teach you the basics of film work. Tomorrow you start for real, and I want you to be ready. For the next 3 hours, James taught Maya about film production. He showed her how to read call sheets, how to understand scene breakdowns, how to work with directors and actors. He introduced her to other crew members. Everyone was friendly and welcoming. Finally, James said she could have the rest of the day to settle in. Maya thanked him over and over. When he left, she sat alone in her trailer. She thought about calling her mother but decided to wait. She wanted to make sure this was really happening first. She wanted to have something real to tell her, not just hope. Maya went back to the parking lot where her van was. She packed up her few belongings, her sleeping bag, her father's toolbox. She cleaned out the van and put everything in 2 trash bags. That was all she owned in the world. 2 trash bags worth of stuff. She took one last look at the van that had been her home. Thank you, she whispered to it. Then she took the bus back to the studio. That night, Maya took her first real shower in weeks. The hot water felt like heaven. She washed her hair 3 times. She stood under the water until it started to get cold. She put on clean clothes and sat on her bed. Through the window, she could see lights from the other trailers. She could hear people talking and laughing. She was part of something now. She belonged somewhere. Maya pulled out her phone and finally called her mother. "Mom, it's me. I have news, good news, really good news." Maya's alarm went off at 5 in the morning on her first official day of work. She had barely slept, too excited and nervous to rest. She got dressed in her cleanest clothes and walked across the dark studio lot to the automotive garage. James was already there, drinking coffee from a huge mug. "You're early. That's good. Film sets start early and end late. You ready for your first real day?" "Yes," Maya said, though her stomach was full of butterflies. The day started with a production meeting. Maya sat in a room with about 20 people. Directors, camera operators, stunt coordinators, producers. Everyone was talking about the day's scenes. Maya did not understand half of what they said. Words like second unit and coverage and establishing shots meant nothing to her. But when they started talking about the car scene, Maya paid close attention. The scene involved the hero working under a car hood while talking to another character. The actor had to look like he knew what he was doing. "Maya," James said, "this is your specialty. Can you work with the actor this morning? Teach him what he needs to know." Everyone turned to look at Maya. She felt her face get hot. "Yes, I can do that." After the meeting, Maya was taken to a side area where the actor was waiting. His name was Derek, and he seemed nice but nervous. "I don't know anything about cars," he admitted. "I can barely check my oil." "That is okay," Maya said. "I will teach you. What does the script say you have to do?" Derek showed her the script. His character had to check something in the engine and announce that the alternator was dead. Maya nodded. "That was simple enough." "First, let me show you where the alternator is," Maya said. She opened the car hood and pointed. "This is it. In the scene, you need to check this wire right here. Just touch it like this and then shake your head," she demonstrated. Derek tried it. He looked awkward and fake. "Try again," Maya said. "But this time really look at it, like you are trying to figure out a puzzle, and touch it gently like you know what you are doing." Derek tried again. Better, but still not quite right. Maya worked with him for an hour, showing him how to stand, how to hold his hands, how to look under a hood like a real mechanic. By the end, Derek looked much more natural. "You're a good teacher," Derek said. "Thanks for being patient with me." When they filmed the scene, the director loved it. "Finally! It looks real," he shouted. "Great job, Derek, and great job to whoever taught him that." James pointed at Maya. "That's Maya, our new consultant." The director walked over and shook Maya's hand. "Keep doing what you're doing." That looked perfect. Maya felt proud. Her first scene in it had worked. But the day was just beginning. Over the next few weeks, Maya worked harder than she had ever worked in her life. She arrived early every day and stayed late. She helped set up cars for stunts. She taught actors how to change tires, check engines, and fix problems. She made sure every car detail in every scene looked real. But not everyone was happy she was there. Some crew members thought she was just a charity case. They whispered when she walked by. A few people made comments about how Vin was just being nice to a homeless girl. One day, a man named Rick who worked on the automotive team said something loud enough for everyone to hear. "I've been working on films for 15 years. Why do we need some kid who lived in a van telling us what to do?" Maya heard him but said nothing. She just kept working. James pulled Rick aside and spoke to him quietly. But Maya knew what Rick had said was what some people thought. She decided the only way to prove herself was through her work. She could not change people's minds with words. She had to show them what she could do. Her chance came during a complicated scene. The script called for a car to break down in the middle of a chase. The breakdown had to look dramatic but also real, and they had to film it at least 20 times from different angles. The special effects team had a plan. They would use smoke machines and disconnect certain wires, but when they tested it, the smoke looked fake and the car just stopped too suddenly. It did not look like a real breakdown. The director was frustrated. They had already spent 3 hours trying to get it right. "This looks like garbage," he said. "We need something better." The special effects supervisor looked angry. "This is the best we can do with the time we have." Maya had been watching quietly. She had an idea, but she was afraid to speak up. What if her idea did not work? What if people laughed at her? But then she thought about her father. He always said if you know a better way, you have to speak up. She raised her hand slightly. James saw her. Maya? You have something? Everyone turned to look at her again. Maya felt her heart racing. I have an idea. It might work. Let's hear it, the director said, though he sounded impatient. Maya walked over to the car. The problem is you are trying to fake a breakdown. But what if we cause a real breakdown that we can control? We could use a hidden relay switch connected to the fuel pump. With a remote control, we could cut the power whenever we want. The car would sputter and die naturally because it is not getting fuel. Then we just flip the switch back and restart it. The special effects supervisor looked annoyed. That won't work. The sputtering won't look dramatic enough. We can make it dramatic, Maya said. We time the switch to cut power right when the driver is accelerating hard. The engine will choke and smoke a little from the exhaust. It will look and sound real because it is real. The director looked interested. How long would it take to set this up? Maya thought. If I have help, maybe 2 hours. We need to install the relay and test it a few times. Do it, the director said. We'll break for lunch and come back to test your idea. Maya, James, and 2 other mechanics spent the next 2 hours setting up Maya's system. They installed a small relay switch hidden under the dashboard. They connected it to a remote control. They tested it 5 times to make sure it worked perfectly. When the crew came back from lunch, Maya demonstrated. She had someone drive the car around the lot. When she pressed the remote button, the car sputtered, choked, and rolled to a stop with a puff of dark smoke from the exhaust. It looked completely real. The director's face lit up. That's it. That's exactly what we need. How did you come up with that? I used to help people whose cars broke down, Maya said. I learned what real breakdowns look like, and I know how to cause them safely. They filmed the scene 23 times that afternoon. Every time, Maya's system worked perfectly. The car broke down on command and restarted instantly. It saved the production hours of time and made the scene look much better. After filming ended that day, the director made an announcement to everyone. I want to publicly thank Maya Kim for solving our breakdown problem today. She saved us time and money, and more importantly, she made the scene work. Great job, Maya. The crew applauded. Even Rick, the man who had complained about her, nodded with respect. James put his arm around Maya's shoulders and smiled proudly. Vin heard about what happened and sent Maya a text message. Heard you saved the day. That's who you are. Never forget it. After that day, people treated Maya differently. They started asking for her opinion more. They listened when she had ideas. She was no longer just the charity case that Vin had helped. She was a real member of the team, but Maya did not let the praise go to her head. She stayed humble and worked just as hard as before. She remembered where she came from and how lucky she was to be here. One evening, James invited Maya to dinner at a small Korean restaurant. Over bibimbap and kimchi, he told her stories about his early days in film. I was like you, he said. I had to prove myself every single day. Some people never believed in me, but I kept working hard and eventually my work spoke for itself. Do you think I can really do this? Maya asked. As a real career? James looked at her seriously. Maya, you remind me of the best young mechanics I ever worked with. You have knowledge, instinct, and creativity. But more than that, you care about doing things right. That's what makes someone truly good at what they do. He set down his chopsticks. When this production ends, don't disappear. This industry needs people like you. I can help you get other jobs if you want them. Maya felt tears in her eyes. Thank you, James. You have been so kind to me. Your father would be proud of you, James said. Trust me, Maya. He would be very proud. Maya worked on the film for 3 more months. She became known as someone who could solve problems creatively and make car scenes look authentic. Directors and stunt coordinators started specifically asking for her input. She saved every penny she earned. Well, almost every penny. She sent some money to her mother every week. She bought herself a few new clothes and some good food. But most of it she saved. She was thinking about the future now. One day, Maya received an email from her old college. One of her former professors had heard about her work in film through a news article about Vin's consulting team. He encouraged her to consider coming back to finish her engineering degree. He even told her about some scholarships she might qualify for. Maya saved the email. She was not ready to think that far ahead yet, but for the first time in a long time, she allowed herself to imagine possibilities. Maybe she could finish school. Maybe she could have a real career. Maybe she could do more than just survive. As the production moved into its final month, Maya realized something important. She had stopped thinking of herself as a homeless person who got lucky. She started thinking of herself as a mechanic, a consultant, a professional. She had earned this. It was not just luck anymore. It was her skill and her hard work. One night, Vin visited the automotive garage while Maya was working late. "How's it going?" he asked. "Good," Maya said, looking up from the engine she was adjusting. "We are getting ready for the final chase sequence. It is going to be big." Vin smiled. "You've come a long way, Maya. From fixing my car on the side of the road to being an essential part of this production." "You know what the difference is?" "What?" Maya asked. "Confidence," Vin said. "You believe in yourself now. I could see it in you that first night, but you couldn't see it in yourself. Now you do." Maya thought about that. He was right. She did feel different, stronger, more sure of herself. "Thank you," Maya said quietly, "for giving me this chance." "Thank you for taking it," Vin replied. "And Maya, this isn't the end. This is just the beginning." As the final weeks of production approached, Maya felt a mix of emotions. She was proud of everything she had accomplished, but she was also scared. What would happen when the movie was finished? Would she go back to living in her van? Would she lose everything she had gained? She had saved almost $30,000 from her work. It was more money than she had ever imagined having. But she knew it would not last forever if she had no job. She started looking at job postings for mechanics, but nothing felt right anymore. She had tasted something bigger, and it was hard to imagine going back to a regular garage job. James noticed Maya seemed worried. "What's on your mind?" he asked one day while they were setting up cars for a stunt. "The production ends in 2 weeks," Maya said. "Then I have no job, no home. I will be back where I started." James shook his head. "Not true. You'll have money saved, experience on a major film, and references from everyone here. That's completely different from where you started." "But what do I do?" Maya asked. "I do not know how to find another film job." "You let me help you," James said. "I know people on other productions. I've already been telling them about you. There will be opportunities, Maya, I promise." That evening, Sarah called Maya to her office. "We're having a wrap party in 3 days," Sarah said. "It's a dinner to celebrate finishing the film. Everyone from the production will be there. Vin wants you to come." "Of course," Maya said. "I would not miss it." "Good," Sarah smiled. "And wear something nice. This is going to be a special night." Maya used some of her saved money to buy a nice dress. It was the first dress she had bought in 3 years. When she tried it on, she barely recognized herself in the mirror. She looked like a regular person, like someone who belonged. The wrap party was held at a fancy restaurant in Beverly Hills. Maya had never been to a place like this. Everything sparkled. The food was served on fancy plates. Everyone was dressed up and laughing and celebrating. Maya sat at a table with James and some of the other automotive crew. They shared stories about the production, laughing about mistakes and close calls. Maya felt like she was part of a family. Halfway through dinner, Vin stood up to make a speech. The room got quiet. "I want to thank everyone who worked on this film," Vin began. "You all gave your best, and it shows in every frame we shot. This is going to be an amazing movie." People applauded. Vin continued. "But tonight I want to talk about something more important than the movie. I want to talk about the people behind it." He looked around the room. 4 months ago, my car broke down on a street in Los Angeles. A young woman stopped to help me. She fixed my car with duct tape and refused payment. That act of kindness inspired me to do something I've been thinking about for years. Maya's heart started beating faster. Was he talking about her? "That young woman is here tonight," Vin said. "Maya Kim, can you stand up?" Everyone turned to look at Maya. Her face felt hot as she slowly stood up. Her legs felt shaky. "Maya showed me what true character looks like," Vin continued. "She had nothing, but she still helped others. She could have walked past my car, but she didn't. And when I offered to pay her, she refused. That's rare. That's special." Vin pulled out a piece of paper. "Maya has been an incredible asset to our production. But more than that, she inspired me to create something bigger. Tonight, I'm announcing the creation of a new scholarship fund for young people from difficult backgrounds who want to pursue careers in automotive and engineering fields." The room erupted in applause. Maya felt tears starting to form in her eyes. "Maya will be the first recipient of this scholarship. Vin said. It will cover full tuition for her to return to college and complete her engineering degree. It also includes a living stipend so she can focus on school. Maya's mouth fell open. She could not believe what she was hearing. But there's more, Vin said. My production company is creating a new position. We want a permanent automotive consultant who can work on our films, someone who brings authenticity and real-world knowledge to our projects. Maya, if you want it, the job is yours. You'll work on our films during school breaks and after graduation. The whole room stood up and applauded. Maya was crying now, unable to hold back the tears. James hugged her. Sarah hugged her. People she barely knew came to shake her hand and congratulate her. Vin made his way through the crowd to Maya. You earned this, he said quietly. Every bit of it. I'm just opening doors. You're the one who has to walk through them and do the work. I do not know what to say, Maya whispered. Thank you is not enough. Then don't say anything, Vin smiled. Just keep being who you are. Keep helping people. Keep working hard. That's all the thanks I need. After dinner, Vin pulled Maya aside for a private conversation. I want to tell you why I'm really doing this, he said. It's not just about you, though you deserve it. It's about what you represent. He leaned against the wall. When I was struggling, someone gave me a chance. Just one chance. That changed my entire life. But I always wondered, how many talented people never get that chance? How many people with Maya's skills and heart are out there, invisible? Because nobody sees them. I was invisible, Maya said softly. For 2 years I was invisible. Exactly, Vin said. And that's wrong. That's what I want to change. This scholarship fund, it's not charity. It's about finding people with real talent who just need one chance. People like you. He pulled out his phone and showed Maya something. Look at this. Since we announced the scholarship fund an hour ago, 5 people have already donated money to it. Other actors, directors, producers, they want to help too. By next month, we'll have enough to help 5 more people like you. Maya looked at the phone screen in amazement. The scholarship fund was growing right before her eyes. You did this, Maya, Vin said. Your story, your character, your kindness. That inspired all of this. You think you're just one person, but you're not. You're the start of something bigger. Over the next few days, Maya worked with Sarah to enroll in college. The process was complicated, but Sarah knew how to navigate the system. Maya would start classes in 1 month. She would live in student housing and study mechanical engineering full-time. James Park offered to be her mentor, not just for film work, but for her entire career. Call me anytime you need advice, he said. I want to see you succeed, Maya. Maya also got a call from the director of the film. I'm working on another project starting next year, he said. I want you on my team. James gave me your number. Are you interested? Yes, Maya said immediately. I am very interested. It was all happening so fast. 1 month ago, she was worried about her future. Now she had a scholarship, a part-time job in film, and mentors who believed in her. Her life had completely changed. But Maya did not forget where she came from. 1 week before she moved to campus, she went back to the park where she used to give free car advice. She set up her sign one more time. Free car advice. People came, the same people who had come before. Mrs. Chen with her grandson. A young mother whose check engine light was on. An elderly man whose car made a strange noise. Maya helped them all just like she always had. I heard you got a big job, Mrs. Chen said. We're so proud of you, Maya. Thank you, Maya said. But I wanted to come back one more time. To say thank you to all of you. You kept me going when I had nothing. You treated me like a person, not like a homeless girl. I will never forget that. The young mother hugged her. You always helped us. Now someone is helping you. That's how it should work. Maya distributed most of her remaining cash to the people in the park. She wanted to help them the way Vin had helped her. It was not much, but every dollar mattered when you had nothing. Before she left, Maya walked to the parking lot where her van used to sit. Someone else's car was there now. Her van had been towed away weeks ago, but Maya stood in that spot for a moment, remembering. She remembered the cold nights, the hungry days, the fear and uncertainty. She remembered reading car manuals by lamplight and wondering if things would ever get better. She remembered the night a stranger's car broke down and she decided to help. That decision had changed everything. One small act of kindness had created a chain reaction that transformed her entire life. And now through Vin's scholarship fund, it would transform other lives too. Maya's phone rang. It was Vin. Hey, I'm filming a short video about the scholarship fund. Would you be willing to share your story on camera? It would help us reach more people who might need help. Maya thought about it. She had always been private, uncomfortable with attention. But if her story could help others, she should share it. Yes, she said. I will do it. Great, Vin said. And Maya, I'm proud of you. Not just for what you've accomplished, but for who you are. You didn't let struggle make you bitter. You stayed kind. That's real strength. After the call, Maya sat on a park bench and cried. But these were not sad tears. They were tears of gratitude and hope and disbelief that her life had turned around so completely. She thought about her father. She wished he could see her now. She wished she could tell him that his lessons about helping others had saved her. That his teaching about cars had given her a career. That his kindness lived on through her. I'm going to make you proud, Dad. Maya whispered to the sky. I promise. That night, Maya moved her belongings into her new apartment near campus. It was small but clean and safe. She had a real bed, a real kitchen, a real bathroom. She had books for her classes and a laptop computer that the scholarship fund had provided. She set up her father's old toolbox in the corner of her room. She would always keep it close. It reminded her of where she came from and what mattered most. As Maya fell asleep in her new bed, in her new home, starting her new life, she thought about the moment when everything changed. A broken-down car, a stranger who needed help, a simple choice to stop and offer assistance. Sometimes, Maya thought, the smallest acts create the biggest changes. She had helped a stranger fix his car, and in return he had helped her fix her broken life. But more than that, together they were fixing a broken system, creating opportunities for others who had been invisible like her. This was just the beginning. 6 months passed like a dream. Maya threw herself into her studies at college. Mechanical engineering was challenging, but she loved every minute of it. The math was hard, the physics complicated, but Maya studied late into the night and refused to give up. She was determined to prove that she belonged here. Her professors were impressed. One of them, Dr. Martinez, pulled her aside after class one day. You have real practical knowledge that most students lack, he said. You've actually worked on cars, not just read about them. That's valuable. Maya also kept working on film sets during breaks. She consulted on 2 other movies, earning a reputation as someone who brought authenticity to automotive scenes. Directors started requesting her specifically. Get Maya Kim, they would say. She makes our car scenes look real. The scholarship fund that Vin created grew bigger than anyone expected. By the end of 6 months, it had enough money to help 20 young people pursue automotive and engineering careers. Maya helped review applications and select recipients. She looked for people like herself, people with talent and heart who just needed one chance. One of the scholarship recipients was a 19-year-old named Carlos, who had been living in his car while working at a car wash. He taught himself mechanics by watching YouTube videos. When Maya interviewed him, she saw herself. You remind me of someone, Maya told Carlos. Me 6 months ago. Carlos got the scholarship. He sent Maya a message later that made her cry. You gave me hope. Before I heard your story, I thought people like us were invisible, but you proved we can make it. Thank you. Maya realized that her story was bigger than just her. It represented something important. It showed that circumstances do not define a person's worth. That talent exists everywhere, even in parking lots and under bridges. That one act of kindness can change everything. She started a YouTube channel like she had planned. She called it Street Mechanic. In her videos, she taught basic car maintenance to people who could not afford mechanics. She showed how to change oil, fix flat tires, replace air filters, simple things that could save people hundreds of dollars. Her first video got 2,000 views. Her 10th video got 50,000. By her 20th video, she had over 100,000 subscribers. People commented saying her videos helped them save money, keep their cars running, even keep their jobs because their cars did not break down. Vin appeared in one of her videos, surprising everyone. They worked on his car together, the same car Maya had fixed on the street 6 months earlier. This is where it all started, Vin said to the camera. One act of kindness. Look where we are now. That video got 2 million views in 1 week. The scholarship fund received $50,000 in donations. Maya was overwhelmed by how much good was coming from one simple moment on a dark street. College was going well, but Maya never forgot the people who were still struggling. She volunteered at homeless shelters once a week, teaching basic automotive skills. She showed people how to diagnose common car problems, how to do cheap repairs, how to keep old cars running longer. One woman at the shelter told Maya, "I got a job interview, but my car won't start. I can't afford a tow truck or mechanic. I'm going to lose this opportunity." Maya went to the parking lot with her. The problem was just a dead battery and corroded terminals. Maya cleaned the terminals and jump-started the car. Total cost, $0. The woman cried with relief. "You just saved my life," she said. "No," Maya replied. "I just gave you a chance to save your own life. That's all any of us need, just a chance." James Park remained Maya's mentor and friend. He invited her to work on bigger and bigger projects. He introduced her to people in the automotive industry. Not just film people, but engineers at car companies, designers, innovators. He was building a network for her, setting her up for a successful future. "You know what I see when I look at you?" James asked her one day. "I see someone who will change this industry. Maybe you'll design cars someday. Maybe you'll run an automotive department for a major studio. Maybe you'll start your own business. But whatever you do, you'll make things better." Maya graduated with honors after 2 years of intense study. The graduation ceremony was held in a large auditorium. Maya's mother flew in from out of state. It was the first time they had seen each other in almost 3 years. They hugged and cried together. "Your father would be so proud," her mother whispered. "So proud, Maya." Vin attended the graduation as Maya's guest. His presence created a media frenzy, but he insisted on being there. "I wouldn't miss this," he told Maya. "You earned this degree. I just opened a door. You walked through it and did the work." During the graduation ceremony, Maya was asked to give a speech as the top student in her department. She stood at the podium looking out at hundreds of people. She took a deep breath and began. "6 months ago I was homeless," Maya said. Her voice was clear and strong. "I lived in a broken van in a parking lot. I had nothing. No home, no job, no future that I could see." The audience was completely silent, but I had something important. I had knowledge that my father taught me. I had a willingness to help others even when I had nothing. And I made one choice that changed everything. I chose to help a stranger whose car broke down. She looked at Vin sitting in the audience. He smiled at her. That stranger helped me back. But this story is not about me and him. It's about what that moment represents. It's about the power of kindness. The importance of using your skills to help others. The possibility of change, Maya continued. Every day, talented people are invisible. They're working minimum wage jobs, living in their cars, struggling to survive. They have skills and dreams, but no opportunities. I was one of those people. Now I'm standing here with an engineering degree, a career, and a future. She gripped the podium. My message to you graduates is simple. Use what you learn here to help others. Look for the invisible people. Give them chances. Pull them up with you. That's how we change the world. Not through grand gestures, but through simple acts of kindness repeated over and over. The audience stood and applauded. Maya saw her mother crying. She saw Vin wiping his eyes. She saw James Park giving her a thumbs up. She had done it. She had turned her pain into purpose, her struggle into strength. After graduation, Maya accepted a job with James Park's automotive coordination company. She would work on major film productions while also pursuing her own projects. The pay was excellent. She could finally support herself comfortably and help her mother too. But Maya had a personal project she wanted to start. She bought an old garage in the same neighborhood where her father's garage used to be. She renovated it with money she had saved and turned it into something special. The sign outside read, Kim's Garage, Second Chances Auto Shop. Inside, Maya hired mechanics who had been homeless, formerly incarcerated or struggling to find work. She trained them and gave them real jobs with real pay. She created the opportunity for others that Vin had created for her. One of her first employees was a young man named David, who had been sleeping in his car while trying to find work as a mechanic. Maya saw his potential immediately. Within 3 months, David was one of her best workers. "Why did you hire me?" David asked one day. "I had no experience working in a real shop." Maya smiled. "Because I saw myself in you. Someone gave me a chance. Now I give chances. That's how this works." The garage became known as a place that did honest work at fair prices. People who could not afford big repair shops came to Kim's Garage. Maya often gave discounts or free repairs to people who were struggling. She never forgot what it felt like to have no money and a broken car. One evening, about a year after graduation, Maya was closing up the garage when a car pulled into the parking lot. A nice car driving smoothly. It parked right in front of the garage. Maya walked outside to see if the person needed help. The driver got out. It was a young woman, maybe 20 years old. She looked frustrated and scared. "Excuse me," the woman said. "I think something's wrong with my car. It's making a weird noise." Maya smiled. This scene felt familiar. "Let me take a look," she said. She opened the hood and diagnosed the problem quickly. A loose belt, easy to fix. Maya tightened it and tested the car. "The noise was gone. How much do I owe you?" the woman asked, reaching for her purse. Maya shook her head. "Nothing. It was just a loose belt." Took 30 seconds. The woman looked confused. "You're not going to charge me?" "No," Maya said. "Just pass it on. When you see someone who needs help, help them. That's all the payment I need." The woman left, still looking confused but grateful. Maya watched her drive away and smiled. She was completing the circle. Someone had helped her. Now she helped others. And those others would help more people. That was how change happened. That was how the world got better. Maya's phone rang. It was Vin. They talked regularly now, not as a celebrity and a fan, but as friends. "Hey, I'm working on a new film," he said. "Big car chase sequences. Want to be the lead automotive consultant? It films in 6 months." "Yes," Maya said. "Absolutely, great. And Maya?" "The scholarship fund just hit $500,000. We're going to help 50 people this year. 50 people who were invisible are going to get chances." Maya felt tears of joy. "That's amazing, Vin. Thank you for starting all of this." "Thank you," Vin replied. "You started it when you fixed my car. You could have walked past. You didn't. Everything that happened after that, it all started with your choice." After the call, Maya locked up the garage and walked to her car. Not a van anymore, but a reliable used car that she had fixed herself. She drove through the city streets, passing the parking lot where her van used to sit. She slowed down and looked at the spot. Another car was there now, someone else's car. But Maya would never forget what that parking lot meant to her. It was where she hit bottom. It was also where she learned that rock bottom is just another place to stand. You can stay there or you can start climbing. Maya had chosen to climb. She had chosen to help a stranger. That choice had changed her life, and was now changing dozens of other lives through the scholarship fund and her garage and her videos. She thought about the young woman whose car she had just fixed. Would that woman remember Maya's kindness? Would she pass it on to someone else someday? Maya hoped so. That was how movement started. One person helping one person, creating a chain reaction of kindness. Maya drove home to her apartment. A real home with furniture and food in the refrigerator and warm water in the shower. Simple things that once seemed impossible. She thought about her father and how proud he would be. She thought about her journey from homelessness to hope, from invisibility to impact. She pulled into her parking spot and turned off the engine. Before getting out, she said a small prayer of gratitude. "Thank you for that broken down car. Thank you for the courage to stop and help. Thank you for second chances." As she walked to her apartment, Maya saw a young person sitting on the curb, looking at a car with the hood up. The person looked frustrated and lost. Maya paused. She had dinner waiting. She was tired from a long day. She could keep walking, but she did not. She never could. "Need help with your car?" Maya called out. The young person looked up with hope in their eyes. "Yes, I don't know what's wrong with it." Maya smiled and walked over. "Let me take a look," she said. "I'm pretty good with cars." As she bent over the engine, Maya realized that this was her life now. This was her purpose. Not just fixing cars, but fixing broken dreams, invisible people, and lost hope. One person at a time. One act of kindness at a time. The cycle continued. Someone had helped her. Now she helped others. Those others would help more people. And slowly, steadily, the world got a little bit better. That, Maya thought as she diagnosed the problem with this stranger's car, was the real gift Vin had given her. Not money or opportunity, but the understanding that we all have the power to change lives. We just have to choose to stop, to help, to care. Maya fixed the car, refused payment, and gave the young person her garage card. "If you ever need help again, come find me," she said. She walked to her apartment feeling full of purpose and joy. Tomorrow she would help more people at her garage. Next week she would film another video. Next month she would start working on Vin's new movie. And throughout all of it she would keep doing what her father taught her, help others. Work hard, be kind, fix what's broken, give chances. Pass it on, that was the real story. Not about a homeless girl who met a movie star, but about a talented person who never lost her kindness, who got one chance and used it to create chances for dozens of others. About how one broken-down car on a dark street started a movement that helped hundreds of people. Maya fell asleep that night with a smile on her face. Her journey was far from over. It was just beginning, and she could not wait to see where the road would take her next.